Hello everyone. Once again, I'm happy to welcome you all to the Zoho Creator Learning Table series. To say about Learning Table series, it's a month-on-month session which is held at the first Thursday of the month. In this series, we usually take an industry, discuss about the automations needed for that industry, and also we'll talk about how Creator can be made as a solution in order to provide automation for that particular industry. So, in that flow, this month we are going to talk about the non-profit industry and how Creator can be used as a solution in order to provide automation for certain process in this non-profit industry is going to be the topic of today's session. So before I start the session, let me introduce myself. This is my Preeti Venkatesh, and I'm going to be the trainer of today's session. And also, we have few housekeeping rules to be followed during the session. All the attendees will be on mute, and if you have any questions, please post it in the question tab, which is available in the left corner of your screen. My co-trainers will be happy to answer your questions. A recording of the session will be sent to all the registrants, and please participate in the polls and the surveys that are going to be conducted during and after the session. So now let's move on into the actual part of the session. So this is going to be the structure with which we will be driving your people throughout the session. So first, I'll give a quick introduction about what is Zoho Creator, and then we have took and process called as fundraising event management. This is one of the major process in this non-profit industry, and we have built an application on top of Creator in order to automate this fundraising event management. We will discuss about the application process flow used to build that application and the features that are used to enhance the working model of the application. And finally, we will see the live demonstration, and also I will discuss about some of the extended use cases. And finally, we will conclude the session by giving some points to be noted. So this is going to be the structure with which we will be taking you people throughout the session. And if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to post it in the question tab. So now let's start the session. Introduction. So there might be some new people here in the session. So I'll give you a quick overview about what is Zoho Creator before discussing about the industry that we took for today's session. So what is Zoho Creator? Zoho Creator is a low-code application development platform. This is not only an application development platform, but it is a combination of app development, business intelligence, and analytics. We can perform integrations, everything combined in just one platform. This helps the business to streamline their productivity by building custom applications depending upon their business needs. So, in the right side, you can get to see a picture that denotes that Zoho Creator can fit in into any industry. And also, every application we build on top of Creator is categorized into four divisions. The first one is the internal tool. If I'm trying to build an application for the internal purpose, for example, a task manager or a project management, which will be used within a team or within an organization, these type of applications comes under the category internal tool. And second is the portal based application. If I'm trying to build an application for to manage my vendors or suppliers or customers, so I can build the application and I can give the portal access of the application to those people. Those kind of application comes under the category portal based applications. And third category is the core system. If I'm trying to build an application with all the processes combined in a single place, then those application comes under the category core system. And the last is the extended Zoho or third party application. If I'm trying to integrate my creator application with any other third party services or other Zoho applications to push and pull data and to make the applications communicate, those types of application comes under the category extended Zoho or third party application. So every application we build on Creator comes under any one of this category or a combination of these categories. So this is all about the Zoho Creator platform. So now let's discuss about the industry that we took for today's session. That is the non-profit industry. The non-profit industry aims to mainly serve the social and the community purpose rather than making a profit. The main focus of this industry is in the sectors like education, healthcare, and the environmental protection and etc. So whatever causes comes in this sector, this industry focuses on those causes. The main source of funding for taking care of these causes comes from the donation or grants or the fundraising events that has been conducted by these industries. And the non-profit industry mainly relies on the volunteers for their operations. There are many processes that needs automation in this non-profit industry. One among those major processes is the fundraising event management, basically an event management application. So under this event management application itself, there are many small process that needs automation. For example, the donor management. So whenever we create a fundraising event, obviously the donors will be showing interest in donating for the event that we have created. So we need to manage those donor registrations and the amount of donations that we receive from these donors. So this is one of the major process that needs automation in this fundraising event management. Similarly, next is the volunteer management. So as I said before, non-profit industry mainly relies on the volunteers for their operations. So managing them is one of the major process that needs automation, like the how we are going to manage the registration of the volunteers, and how we are going to assign the task for the volunteers, how we are going to monitor their work. So those things comes under this volunteer management. And next is the overall event management, from scheduling the event till conducting the event, and managing the funds that has been raised out of this event. Everything has to be automated, so it makes the work easier for these NGOs. And next is the membership management. So every NGO, every non-profit industry has its own set of members who manage the events and conduct the events. So managing these memberships is one of the major automation that is needed. Next is the email marketing and communication. So every time we create an event, obviously we need to publish or announce about the event that we are going to conduct. For that, we need to automate this email marketing and the communication with the society. Last is the social media management. So these are some of the major processes that needs automation in this fundraising event management. So we have automated few of the process from these things with the help of Creator as a solution, which we'll be discussing in the further part of the session. So now let's discuss about the application process flow used to build this fundraising event management, which we are going to see. So every application we build on Creator follows this application development life cycle. That is, from requirement gathering till managing the application comes under this life cycle. The first step of application development life cycle is analyzing the requirement. Why we need this application, and who are going to be the stakeholders of the application, and what is the scenario or the requirement we are using to build this application is the first step of application development life cycle. And the second step is structuring the application. Once the requirement is gathered, we need to structure what are the modules, what are the forms, and what are the reports that are needed in our application. So once the structuring is done, next comes the major part, that is the application building. So once the application building is done, we can deploy the application and then we can manage the application. These are the different steps involved in this application development lifecycle. So in this session, we will discuss about how we have analyzed the requirements, how we have structured the flow of the application, and we have already built the application for this requirement. We will be walking you through the application that we built for this fundraising event management. Now let's discuss about the analyzing the requirements. So we have named this application as Eventrise, and this application comes under the category extended Zoho or third party application. Since I'm going to integrate my creator with other Zoho applications for transferring the data. So now let's discuss about the requirements or the modules that are used to build the application. The first module is the events. So every time an organizer creates and schedules an event, he has to collect informations like how many volunteers we needed for the event, and what are the sponsorship opportunities we are going to give for the sponsors, and what is the purpose of the event. So everything has to be captured in this first module, events. And second is the donation. So once the event is created, the donors who are interested in that event will be starting to donate. So how we are going to manage the registration of the donors, and how we are going to manage the donation amount that we receive, and how we are going to send invitation for the donors. So these things will be managed in the second module, donations. And third is the sponsors. Obviously, when we are creating the event, we will be generating the sponsorship opportunities for the sponsors to register. So in the sponsor module, we will manage the sponsorship details. Last is the volunteers module. Obviously, we need the volunteers to conduct the entire event. So how we are going to make the volunteers register and give their availability for the event will be captured in the last module, volunteers. So these are the modules or the requirements that we took in order to build the application that we are going to demonstrate today. So this is going to be the requirement. Next, how we have structured each and every module or each and every requirement. The first module is event creation. So first time, when we create an event, we will be adding the sponsorship opportunities and total number of volunteers needed to conduct the event, and what are the tasks that we are going to give to the volunteers will be captured in this particular module. And once the event is created, obviously we need to publish about the event to the outside people or the external users, for which we can create a post in any social media, and we can send the campaigns to the previously registered donors and the sponsors for them to donate the event or sponsorship the event that we are planned to conduct. So for which we are using something called as Zoho Connect. Zoho Connect is nothing but a communication tool where whenever I feed an information, it will be visible to the internal and the external users that we have added into our Connect. So in this Zoho Connect, I'm going to create a post about the events that we have planned to schedule. So I have integrated my Zoho Creator account with my Zoho Connect account with the help of integration flow. So from the creator itself, I can gather all the event details, and I'll be creating a post in the Zoho Connect. From that post, we will be starting to get the donor registrations and the sponsor registrations. This is the first step. And second is campaigns, sending campaigns. So for which I'm using a product called as Zoho Campaigns. So I have integrated my Zoho Creator account with my Zoho Campaigns account with the help of integration flow. So from Creator itself, I can create the campaigns and I can send them. So this is how we are managing the first module, event creation. And second is the donor management. So once the post is created, we will be starting to receive the donor registrations. Here we have separated the donor registrations into new registration and the existing donor. New registrations are the people, donors who are showing interest for this particular event, and existing donors are the people who are shown interest in the previous event that we have conducted in our organization. So once the registration is received, The donors can choose the event for which they are going to donate, and once the donation is received, we can send the invoice for the donation received, and we can just send the invitation for the donors to join the event. So this is what we are going to do in this donor management module. Similar to the donor management module, in the sponsor management, the sponsors will be starting to register with us if they are interested in the event. Here as well, I am separating the sponsor registration as new registration and the existing sponsors. Excuse me. So in the new registration are the people who are showing interest only for this event, and existing sponsors are the sponsors who have shown interest for the previous event as well. So once the registration is received, the sponsors can choose the sponsorship benefits. So each and every event has its own sponsorship opportunities. So among those benefits, they can choose their preferred benefits. Once the benefits are chosen, we can arrange an online meeting to discuss about their additional benefits or the other requirements they are requesting for. So once the meeting is done and everything is concluded about the sponsorship, the once receiving the payment, we can share the invoice for the payment. So this is how we are managing the sponsors, and we are conducting an online meeting, right? So for which we are using a product called as Zoho Meeting. So I have integrated my creator account with my Zoho Meetings account with the help of the integration flow, so that I can create and schedule the meeting from creator itself, and also I can attend the meeting from creator itself. I don't have to log in into the Zoho Meeting at all. From one platform, I can perform all the actions with these other Zoho apps. So this is how we are managing the sponsor management. And last module is the volunteer management. Again, we are separating this volunteer registration into new registration and the existing volunteers. So for the existing volunteers, we will be giving the portal. So once the volunteer register, we can give the portal access to these volunteers, and from that portal they can get to see the events that are created newly, and also they can get to see the task that has been assigned to these volunteers. And once the registration is done, we can assign the task and we can manage the task status from their portal itself. So this is all about the last module, that is the volunteer management. And this is all about the structuring of the application. And each and every module has its own flow, which we'll be seeing in the live demonstration. Before that, let's discuss about the features that are used to enhance the working model of the application. The features such as integration flow. So as I said before, we are integrating the creator account with many Zoho accounts like campaigns, connect, and the meetings using this integration flow. So integration flow is nothing but it helps us to create custom integrations with no code. This is the first feature. And the second feature is the Canvas Builder. So Canvas Builder is nothing but it helps us to generate an organized report depending upon our requirement. So we have used the Canvas Builder to create a detailed view of my events report according to my requirement. And then third feature is the rich text field. We will discuss about the rich text field in the live demo. Last is the publish component. Every time if we want an external donor or the sponsor to register for the event, we have to publish the event, publish the form or the component, so that we can share it with the external users, for which we are using the feature called as publish component, which is available in Zoho Creator. So these are the few of the features that are used to highlight the working of my application, which we are going to see in the live demonstration. So this is the application I was talking about, fundraising event management. So before I talk in detail about this application, let me show you the modules that are involved in this application. The first module is the events module, where I'll be creating the events along with their necessary details. So once the event is created, donors will be starting to show interest for the event. So in this module, the donor registrations will be for each and every event will be captured, And this is the report in which the newly registered donors will be captured. So every time a donor is registering newly into our application, it will be captured over here, and also this list will be used to send the campaigns which will be performing in the Zoho campaigns. Similarly, we will be capturing all the sponsor registrations in the module and the list of sponsors to whom we will be sending the campaigns. And every once the sponsor shows an interest, we will be scheduling the online meeting to discuss about the sponsor benefits, so that will be captured in the sponsor meetings. And then we have the volunteers module where we have all the volunteers information, and this form is used to assign tasks to the volunteers, and all the tasks that has been assigned will be visible over here. And at last is the event registration, that is the participants who are going to attend the event. So these are the modules that are involved in the application. So now let's discuss in detail about each and every module. First, let's try to create an event. Whenever I try to create an event, I need the basic event details, registration details, and the volunteer opportunities. So let me create an event, sample event named as Education Charity Dinner. It's a dinner event. So the event type is, let's say it's going to be an gala, or the event date, let's say it's going to be on 10th of this month, and it will be starting in the evening. Since it's a dinner, it will be starting in the evening, like around 16, that is 4, and it will end around 9. And the venue is Grand Mall, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and the country is India. And the event description is, the purpose of conducting the event will be the description of the event. This is to support local education. I'm just giving a sample description. And the total fund we are planning to raise for this event is 1 lakh. And the organizer is who is going to conduct the event. If we want, we can add a new organizer, or we can choose from any one of the existing organizers. The registration details are, what is the registration fee for the attendees and what is the maximum amount of participants we can accommodate. And the total number of volunteers needed to perform the conduct the task, and this is the list of tasks we are going to assign for the volunteers, like the event setup, registration desks. Since it's a dinner, I'm going to use food and beverage and the event cleanup. So if you want, we can add some more tasks as well. These are the list of tasks which can be assigned to the volunteers. So this is all about the event details. So for now, the event status is planned. Now once I click on the submit button, the event will get created. So if I click on the detail view, this is called as the canvas builder. So I've just customized the view of my report with the help of this canvas builder. A detailed documentation on how to use this canvas or to create this canvas will be shared in the chat. You can refer to that. So in this, I have the basic event details, and then I have the section of organizer details, sponsor details. We didn't have the sponsorship opportunities yet, we'll be adding it. And then the volunteer details, total number of volunteers needed, and the task that we are going to assign to the volunteers. And next comes the very important thing, donor campaign content and the sponsor campaign content. This is nothing but, as I said before, so we will be sending in campaigns to all my registered donors and the sponsors with the help of Zoho campaign. So we need an email content. So with the help of the data that we are entering in the form, depending upon those entries, I have created the content with the help of rich text field. Let me show you how it is done at the backend. So I'm just going to the edit mode of my application. So in the edit mode, under workflows, we have under the add event, under successful form submission, I have created these post contents, that is the campaign contents. So we have a rich text field called as donor campaign content, so in which I am just embedding an HTML snippet. So this HTML snippet, depending upon the data that we have in the event, like the event name, event date, the purpose, depending upon that, this content will get updated. and it will get added into this rich text field. Similar to that, we are creating the sponsor campaign content. This is also a rich text field. And at last is the post content. This is post content is nothing but, as I said before, I'll be publishing about the event details in my Zoho Connect, for which I'm writing a content. So this content will get dynamically generated depending upon the event details that we are entering. So this is what we are seeing over here. This is the donor campaign content, and this is the sponsor campaign content, and this is the post content which we will be publishing in the Zoho Connect. So this is all about it. Now let's try to add the sponsorship opportunities and see how it is getting added. So I have a separate form to capture the sponsorship opportunities. Once I submit this button, this details will get added into my event details. So I'm adding sponsorship detail as community sponsors. And then for these community sponsors, I'm giving 2 VIP seats for the event and logo representation in the banner. So this is the benefit I'm giving for this community sponsors. And the amount they are going to pay is around 5,000 to 10,000. And similarly, let me add one more. Silver sponsors, for whom I'm going to give the same, but I'm going to give extra VIP seats. So if we want, we can give some more benefits as well, for which they have to pay around 11,000 to 20,000. So this is all about the sponsorship opportunities. Once I click on the submit button, this will get added into my events module as a rich text field. So let me edit and show you this. So you can get to see the sponsorship opportunities, which is a rich text field, also the post content and the campaign contents. So I'm just embedding an HTML snippets into this to create these contents which have been inserted. So this is all about creating the event. So now our event is created, and also we have the sponsorship opportunities getting added. Next step is we have to create a post in the Zoho Connect. This is my Zoho Connect account. So I can add all my internal and external users into the account. So every time I add a feed, it will be visible to all the people who has been added into this account. So I'm using the Zoho Connect as an example over here, but we can integrate it with other social media applications as well, and we can publish it from the creator account itself. So once I click on this create post, I'm using the integration flow to integrate my creator account and my Zoho Connect account. So once I click on this create post, a webhook will get triggered and the event details will get fetched and a post will get created into my Zoho Connect account. So let me show you. Once I click on the create post, this will get triggered and a post will get created in my Zoho Connect account. Education Charity Dinner is the event that we are demonstrating now. So once I click on it, I can get to see the same content which we saw in the post. So you can get to see all the informations like the details about the event, and at last we have the how one can participate or take part in this event as a donor or as a sponsor or as a volunteer. So let me show them one by one. Now let me try to add a donor as a new registration. So behind this link, we have embedded and published Zoho Creator form, for which we are using the publish component available in the Zoho Creator. A documentation on how to publish a component will be shared. You can refer to that. So once I click on that link, it will ask the donor to register along with the event details available over here. So if the donor is an already existing donor, they can simply click on check this box and their details will get populated. If not, in this scenario, let me register as a new donor and show you. I'm giving a dummy email address. and the location, address, and the amount that I am going to donate. Let's say I'm going to donate an amount of 10,000 INR. So if they want, they can give the additional comments. Once I click on the submit button, an email notification will be sent to this particular donor with the thank you note, or along with the invitation for the event, and also this donor will be getting added into my application. So once I click on the submit button, this is a new registration, so it will be getting added into my list of donors. And as I said before, every time we register a donor, that donor details will be added into my campaigns account as well, so under my all contacts. Because so every time a new registration is happening, I'm just pushing it into the Zoho campaigns, so that for the next time I can create a list with the registered donors, and I can send the campaigns from my creator account itself. So this is the list I was talking about, Eventrise. So just now we added an email called as noha.eva. So that email has been added into this list. So every time I send an email, this list will get triggered and the recipients will be added. So in order to perform this, I have integrated my creator account with the Zoho campaigns account with the help of integration flow. Every time I create a record, I mean a person is registering as a donor, that will be updated or added or updated as a contact into my contacts module. So this is what we saw just now. This is how we are managing the donors, and as I said before, the donors will be getting an email notification as well. So with the subject as thank you for your contribution, and the amount they have contributed, and the invitation link for them to join the session. So on submission, I'm sending an email notification to the donors with a thank you note, and for what purpose we are going to use the money they have donated it for. So this is how we are managing the donor details. And similarly, we have the sponsor details. Now let me try to add a user as a sponsor and show you how it works. Similar to the donor, whenever the sponsor clicks on that particular sponsor link, the event details will get populated. And if the particular sponsor is an existing sponsor, you can click on the checkbox and the details will get populated. I'll show this as an example for the campaigns. So now let me try to register as a new sponsor and show you. Let me add a sample company name. And let me add the same email address to show the demo. Phone number and the sponsorship opportunities. Depending upon the event they choose, the sponsorship opportunities will get populated over here. So if a sponsor clicks on a particular sponsorship opportunity, sponsorship level, the sponsorship details will get out automatically populated over here. This is done in the add notes field. So if they want to change it, automatically the sponsorship details also will get changed. Now let me say this sponsor wants to register as a community sponsor, and is ready to donate an amount of 8,000. If he wants to discuss about any additional benefits, he can give them. Like for example, he needs extra VIP seats. Something he's requesting as an additional benefit. He can give a preferred time slot for us to create an online meeting and discuss with them. So let me say that he's willing to join tomorrow around 11 a.m. in the morning. Is available on that particular time. So once the sponsor submits this particular button, the sponsor will get notified about the registration which is being made now, and also you'll be getting added into our application. So once I click on the submit button, let me go to the email. Let me refresh it. Yeah. So the sponsor will be getting an email notification about the thing that he has chosen and about the event details. And also we'll be mentioning that our team will be reaching out to them shortly to discuss the further steps. So this is the notification you'll be getting once he gets registered as the sponsor. Now let me go back to the application. So in this, Now you can get to see the no donor, which sponsor who has been registered now. From here, I'm using something called as blueprint to manage the entire process from scheduling the meeting till generating the invoice for the sponsors. So this blueprint is available in the edit mode of our application. So this is the blueprint I was talking about. Once the sponsor quotes the amount, we will be scheduling the meeting once, and we will be attending the meeting from Creator itself. Once the meeting successful, we will be sharing the agreement. Once the payment is received, we can share the invoice. So this is the blueprint that is happening behind the entire sponsorship process. So let me schedule the meeting. So as I said before, once I click on the submit button, the meeting will get scheduled in my Zoho Meetings account. I don't have to go into the Zoho Meetings. So for which I'm using something called as integration flow. So once I click on the submit button, this flow will get triggered and a meeting will get scheduled in the Zoho meeting. And in return, we will get something called as meeting ID. As I said before, we can join the meeting from Creator itself. For joining a meeting, obviously we need a meeting ID. So once the meeting is scheduled, a meeting ID will get generated and which will get placed in this particular field. Now let me give the to discuss the additional benefits and the sponsor email and meeting ID will be getting as getting it from the integration that we have created. Now I'm clicking on the submit button. So if I go to my sponsor meetings module, I can get to see a meeting which has been generated, but meeting ID is yet to generate. So let me go to the integration flow and check the history. This history will show the success level of the integration that we have created. Yeah, it's processing. Yeah, now the meeting has been created in the Zoho meeting. So when I refresh my creator account, I can get to see the meeting ID which has been generated. Using this meeting ID, I can join the meeting from my creator account itself. So now I click on this and I'm just trying to attend the meeting. So from my creator account, I can attend the meeting. So once the meeting is successful, I can just share the agreement. Once the agreement is signed, I can just receive the payment. Once the payment is received, we will be sharing the invoice to this particular sponsor. So this is how we are managing the sponsorship with the help of the blueprint. So let me go to the email address and show you how the invoice will look. So this is the invoice I was talking about. They can get to see all the detailed information about the company, the sponsorship level, the benefits they are going to get, and the event details, and also a thank you note. So this invoice is created with the help of something called as Reckitt template, which is available in the Zoho Creator reports. So this is how we are managing the sponsorships, sponsors and the sponsor meetings. Next comes the volunteers. Now let me try to register as a new volunteer. So as I said before, for the existing volunteers, so every time a volunteer registered, we will be giving a portal to them, and from their portal they can see the task that has been assigned to them. So now I'm going to register as a new volunteer where I'm collecting the personal details of the volunteer, their emergency contact and their availability. Let me try to add a volunteer, giving the date of birth, gender, previous experience, and a digital signature. They can give their emergency contact details, the relationship with their emergency contact, and next comes the important part, their availability and what is the day, what are the days and the time they are available for volunteering. So let me try to add this particular person as available on Monday from 3 p.m. in the evening till 9 p.m. let's say. And similarly is available on Friday, let's say. Again 3 p.m. in the evening to 9 p.m. And again is available on Sunday from 10 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. So once I click on the submit button, it will get added into my application, and depending upon their availability, we can assign the task. So now in the volunteers module, you can get to see the newly registered volunteer and he is available. And next comes the assign the task to the volunteers. So now let me choose the event. The event date will get auto populated from the events module. And also, as we have already created the list of tasks that we are going to assign to the volunteers. So those list of tasks will be fetched and displayed in this task name. So let's say event setup, which will happen a day before the event. 10:10 is the day, and on 9:10 this event setup will happen in the evening from 15 to 16, and the list of volunteers available will be captured over here, and we are just assigning a particular volunteer for this event setup. Similarly, for the registration desk, which will happen on the day of the event, and it will be happening 1 hour before the event, and I'm assigning a person to that. So once I click on the submit button, this task that we have assigned will be created as the task in a separate report. This report can be shared with the volunteers portal. From the volunteers portal, they can get to see the event date and time in which they are going to conduct the event. Conduct the task. Once the task is completed from the volunteers portal, they can create it as mark it as completed. So this is how we are managing the task and assigning the task to the volunteers. Next comes the event registration. So how the participants are going to register for this event is going to be the next topic. So you can get to see the event I'm choosing is the education charity, and I'm going to register as a new participant. And number of participants, if I give a number of participants more than one, I need to enter the other participants detail as well. So I'm entering the other participants detail. Once I click on the submit button, the registration will get added into my event registrations module. This is how I'm managing the event registration. If the limit of the registration has been exceeded, this form will get closed. So this is all about the event registration. And this is all about managing the donor, sponsor, volunteer, and registration from the post that we are creating in the social media. Similarly, let's talk about how to manage the campaigns. So we have a button here called as create campaign. And also already whenever a donor is registering newly, we are creating a list in the Zoho campaigns with the integration flow. Now we have to create the campaign, for which we have written another flow. On click of the create campaign button, this webhook will get triggered and the event details will get fetched. A campaign will get created in the Zoho campaign, and the event rights list that we saw with the donor list of donors will get associated as the recipients for this campaign. So this will be generated on just a click of this particular button. Now let me click on this. Let me go to the campaigns, email campaigns. One, you can get to see the campaign which has been created just now under the name Education Charity Dinner, the new event that we are demonstrating now. So once I open it, I can get to see all other details and also the recipient as the event rights. So all the donor list which we have in this list has been associated as the recipient into this campaign. Now let's simply create the content from the basic template. So as I said before, we already have a campaign which has been created with the help of the rich text field, campaign content. So now I'm just copying this content and I'm going to paste it in my Zoho campaigns. If we want to add any logo or any representations, I can add it from this layouts. So once it is done, I can simply click on the proceed. The campaign will get created. So once the campaign is created, I can send it immediately or I can schedule and send it. Let me send it immediately and show you how it works. So at the starting, the status of this campaign will be it's sending shortly, and after a few minutes, the campaign will get triggered and it will be sent to all the participants. So for now, the status is going to be sending shortly. It will take a minute or two, and for it to change the status to sent. Once it is sent, the email notification, the campaign will be received to all the list of donors. Yeah, now the status has been changed as sent. Let me go to the donor which we have registered newly and see how the campaigns will look like. So this is the campaign details. So now since he is already registered donor, he is receiving the campaigns, and if he wants to register for the new event or make donation for the new event, he can just simply click on this particular button which is available in the campaign, and he can, since he is already registered donor, he can just simply give his email address. All other details will get populated. He can give the amount he is willing to donate, and similarly once he click on the submit button, this will get added into my donors module, and from here, similar to the previous example we saw the new registration, the list donors will be donor registration will be managed. Similar to that, I can send a campaign to the list of sponsors and I can perform the sponsorship opportunities as well. So every time we receive an donation as a donation amount, this will get reduced in the events that at the starting our target fund was 1 lakh. Since we got some donations from the donors, so the amount is getting reduced. So now the remaining amount is just 89,000. So this is how we are managing the entire process with the help of Creator. Also, a very important part is the dashboard. So as an admin, I need to get an overview about what is happening in my application on a single view. So I can get to see the total number of donors registered, sponsors registered, volunteers, and the count of event created. And this is the sponsor meeting which is yet to start. If I click on view all, it will open the sponsor meeting report. From here, I can able to join the meeting on a single click. And similarly, if there are new activities like a new volunteer is registered, I can get to see the volunteer details in this particular report. And similarly, whenever an organizer is creating a new event, as an admin, I can get to see the event details in this particular report. And similarly, I can get to see the analytics, like for example the total fund, the plan to raise, and what is the donation we receive. This will help us to keep a track of the amount that has been received for each and every event and how it has been used. And in the quick links from this particular dashboard itself, the admins can create an event, add a donor, sponsor, volunteers, or they can assign a task for each and every volunteer. So this is all about the fundraising event management application I wanted to discuss for today's session. So let's discuss about some of the extended use cases. So just now we saw the fundraising event management application as an extended Zoho or third-party application, where we have used other Zoho apps to perform the campaigns or meetings and everything. So now let's say the same event rise is an internal tool that is used only by the group of organizers who are ready to conduct the event. They can make use of this application to create the budget, track the expenses for the event, schedule the event without any clashes, and what they are going to do with the donations they have received. So if I'm trying to manage these internal process in an application, then we can call this event rise as an internal tool. If I want to make the same event rise as in portal based application, we discussed about giving portal to the volunteers. Similarly, we can give the portal access of our application to the sponsors and the donors, so that it will be easy for us to communicate with the existing sponsors and the donors, and they can get to see the event on time. And similarly, we can assign the portal to the volunteers to manage the task, and we can assign the portal to the event coordinators. These event coordinators are the people who will be helping the organizers to conduct the event. So it will be easy for the organizers to communicate with these people on a single click. So this is how we can make the event rise as a portal based application. So by this we came to the end. Let me give you some points to be noted before I conclude this session. So in this session, we discussed about few features and how it has been used to enhance the usage of the application. For example, the rich text bin, using which I have created the connect post and the campaign content just by embedding an HTML snippet on submission of a form. And then we have used a canvas builder. I have just organized the view of my event details report in my according to my requirement. And then we use the integration flow with no code. We have integrated creator account with the other Zoho accounts like Zoho Connect, create Zoho Creator and Zoho Campaigns, Zoho Creator with Zoho Meetings, and we have accessed these applications from the creator itself, from the single platform itself. So these are the few of the features that has made our application more useful. So by this I came to the end of today's session. So we have few upcoming sessions as well. Creator Tech Connect series. Again, Creator Tech Connect series is a month-on-month session which is held at the following week of the Learning Table series. So in this series, we usually discuss about all the technical concepts available in Zoho Creator. So this month on October 10th, we are planning to conduct a session on domains, controls and security in Zoho Creator using Zoho Directory. You can register for the session using the QR code, or my co-trainer will be sharing the registration link in the chat. You can register from that as well. For the next month Learning Table series, we are going to talk about Creator for the technology industry, which will be conducted on November 7th. So you can register for this event using this QR code, or my co-trainer will be sharing that in the chat. You can refer to that as well. And this Learning Table series is a recurring session. So since you have registered for today's sessions, you will be getting notified about the next session as well. So if you want your friends or colleagues to join the next session, you can just share the link with them. Apart from this upcoming session, we are planning to conduct Zoho Creator Roadshow in the following regions: London, Berlin, and Madrid on the respective days. So, if you want to attend the live session about the Zoho Creator and you are around any of these three regions, you can obviously register using this QR code which is available on the screen, and you can attend the roadshow. You will also be receiving the same links to register for this roadshow in the chat as well. I'm leaving the session open for few minutes. If you have any questions, post it in the question tab. We'll be happy to answer it. And if you have any questions post the session, please write to training@zohocreator.com. We'll be happy to help. Thank you so much everyone for attending the session. We'll meet again in the next month with the next new industry. Thank you.